In a development that has sent shockwaves through South Africa's political and legal landscape, President Cyril Ramaphosa has finally broken his silence following reports that Michael Sandlana was rushed under heavy security to a prison hospital after a sudden medical collapse. The incident, which unfolded rapidly and largely out of public view, has raised urgent questions about transparency, accountability, and the treatment of high-profile detainees within the country's justice system. For days, speculation has been building. Now, with the president's statement finally on record, the nation is left to grapple with what this moment truly means. According to reports from multiple sources familiar with the situation, Michael Sandlana collapsed while in custody, prompting an emergency response from Correctional Health Services. Witnesses described a tense scene as medical personnel were called in, followed by the swift transfer of Sandlana to a specialized prison hospital facility. The move, carried out under strict security protocols, immediately fueled concern and uncertainty. Officials have not released detailed medical information, citing patient confidentiality. However, the urgency of the transfer alone signaled that this was not a routine incident. Within hours, social media erupted. Questions poured in. Was Sandlana receiving adequate care? What caused the collapse? And why was the public learning about it through leaks rather than official channels? For several days, the presidency remained notably quiet. That silence became a story in itself. Critics argued that the lack of communication risked undermining public trust, particularly given Sandlana's prominence and the broader political implications surrounding his detention. Then, late yesterday, President Cyril Ramaphosa addressed the matter publicly for the first time. In a carefully worded statement, the president acknowledged awareness of the situation and confirmed that Sandlana had been transferred to a medical facility operated within the correctional system. Ramaphosa emphasized that all detainees, regardless of status or profile, are entitled to medical care consistent with the Constitution and South African law. At the heart of the president's statement was a clear attempt to separate political power from legal process. He stressed that neither the presidency nor the executive branch had interfered in Sandlana's detention or medical treatment. Decisions, he said, were made by relevant authorities following established procedures. Importantly, Ramaphosa reiterated that South Africa's justice system must operate independently, even under intense public scrutiny. In moments like this, any hint of political influence, real or perceived, can destabilize confidence in democratic institutions. Michael Sandlana's collapse is not just a health incident. It is a political flashpoint. It touches on multiple sensitive issues at once. The conditions within correctional facilities. The handling of politically significant detainees. The balance between transparency and privacy. And the credibility of state institutions under pressure. For supporters of Sandlana, the incident reinforces claims that his treatment requires closer oversight. For critics, it raises broader concerns about whether South Africa's prison healthcare system is equipped to handle medical emergencies effectively. And for the government, it presents a reputational challenge at a time when public confidence remains fragile. While the president's remarks provided reassurance in principle, they left many practical questions unresolved. What exactly caused the collapse? Was Sandlana receiving treatment prior to the incident? Will independent medical professionals be allowed to assess his condition? And perhaps most critically, will the public receive regular, verifiable updates? The absence of specifics has kept speculation alive, even as officials urge restraint. Legal experts note that transparency, when balanced correctly with privacy rights, is essential to preventing misinformation from filling the vacuum. Reaction to Ramaphosa's statement has been mixed. Some political figures welcomed the clarification, saying it reaffirmed constitutional values and respect for due process. Others argued that the response came too late and lacked sufficient detail to fully calm public concern. Civil society organizations have called for an independent review of correctional healthcare protocols, not just in this case, but system-wide. Meanwhile, opposition parties have seized on the incident as evidence of deeper structural issues within state institutions. Beyond politics and procedure, there is an unavoidable human dimension. A medical collapse, regardless of who it involves, is a serious matter. Ramaphosa acknowledged this directly, stating that the dignity and health of every person in custody must be protected, not as a privilege, but as a constitutional obligation. This line resonated with many South Africans, particularly amid ongoing debates about prison conditions and human rights. As of now, Sandlana remains under medical supervision within the correctional system. Authorities say his condition is being monitored and that any decisions regarding his detention status will follow medical advice and legal guidelines. The president has indicated that he will not comment further on the specifics while processes are ongoing, a stance consistent with his emphasis on institutional independence. However, pressure is mounting for greater clarity. In the coming days, the government's handling of updates, transparency, and oversight may prove just as important as the initial response itself. This episode has become a quiet but significant test. Not just of leadership, but of systems. How a country treats those in its custody, especially under public scrutiny, speaks volumes about the strength of its democracy. Ramaphosa's decision to speak, even cautiously, reflects an awareness of that reality. Whether his words will be enough to restore confidence remains to be seen. As South Africa watches closely, one thing is clear. This story is no longer just about one individual's health crisis. It is about trust, transparency, and the promise that the rule of law applies evenly, even when the spotlight is at its brightest. The coming days will determine whether that promise holds.